Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first AR or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley, and I will be joined momentarily by my very special co-host, Garth Hofer. I know that he's on here. We just had some tech issues, and he will be coming on soon. But before we get started with that, guys, I hope you're keeping up. I know we are sad that we could not be there for some of the content this week, and cool things happening down at Goals, and that is the Gun Owners of America first annual meeting they're having down in Knoxville. Bunch of good people there, bunch of cool stuff happening, and those things are going on right now. While we wait for Garth to come on, we wanted to talk about that a little bit. And also, we're going to do some more housekeeping as we come up. Next week, the show will be at its normal time on Thursday, as we have that coming up. So the next couple of weeks, there will be a couple episodes that we might have to bump up onto a Wednesday here shortly. But as they come up sooner, we'll let you know that as it's coming on. And we'll make sure that that's happening. But in the meantime, want to check in and see how all of you guys are doing. Make sure that everyone's out there doing their best to keep up, your good training and keeping up, because it is now summertime and it is the time to train. And with that is a awesome thing to be doing right now. I know I've been trying to get out and do a handful of classes. We're probably going to be looking up at doing some more real soon. And I have some upcoming ones that I'm teaching, but not that I'm taking. And with, as we get into the close of the winter season and the fall, again, this is time for dad advice from Dooley. And ammunition is still available. Magazines are still cheap. It's an election year. You should be stocking up on both of those things. But that is coming from someone who likes to say that, you buy magazines and what is known as generational wealth so that you can ensure no matter what, you and your kids and hopefully your grandkids will be able to have magazines for everything going forward. I see Garth is logged on, but is having some issues getting connected yet. As we come forward, that's too easy to do. We do have some reports to give on some things we've been using, or at least that I have been using. And hey, there is a Garth.
Oh my gosh, dude! I am so sorry for being late. I got put at the totem pole today for important shit to be done, and I'm a little pissed about it. So I'm here. Things are now kind of working. Whatever. We're here. Let's do a show, man. I'm sorry.
So, Garth, I was just talking about reminding everyone about Goals. I was going to talk about some interesting things that we've done in the past couple weeks. I know the last time we went out and shot, we actually got to use some new products that I got in to use for individual training. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk more about those in a little bit. But let's give a quick wrap up of fun stuff you've done recently, Garth.
Man, too much fun stuff, honestly. Been heading the whole 3-gun PCC championship for our club located here in Central South Dakota. I know I've put it out there on Facebook and Instagram, so if any of our listeners are looking to come and hang out with you and I, September 15th, we are doing our Outlaw 3-gun PCC championship in Pierce, South Dakota. And we would love for anyone to come and participate. So you guys can check out our social medias on Facebook and Instagram for all that information. So I've been doing a lot of stage building and trying to build my own targets and Texas Stars and moving targets and things of that nature. And it's been fun and a challenge. And I am not an engineer by any means. So if these do work and function, I will be super, super excited. Beyond that, I started thinking a little bit ago, what the hell are you wearing?
you're thinking about what I'm wearing, that is a problem.
I know. I'm sorry. You caught me off guard there for a second. I was actually thinking, I was like, I really haven't touched on my Gun of the Month club because I said I was going to do it again for 2024. And then I just kind of forgot about it.
Well,
But
you were going to do parts.
I was going to do parts, but again, like I said, I'm not a builder. I didn't like Legos growing up. So I would just rather buy guns completed. And so I went through my list of stuff today, and I actually think I'm at 12 right now. So it's not like I haven't been doing it. I just haven't been giving reports of it. So I'm up to 12 that I can think of, mostly because the other day saved me when I took home 6 from you. So,
yes, indeedy.
but yeah, so I am caught up, and someday, in December, I'll go through the list of everything I got because, well, I haven't got to shoot any of the ones I picked up yesterday or the day before, whatever day I saw you, because the days are blending together. But I guess I picked up the new 365 fuse. Super excited. It's sitting right next to me. I don't want to show it on camera because, well, then YouTube will go bye-bye. So super stoked about that gun. Feels great in the hand. Cannot wait to shoot it. Can't wait to get a red dot on it and light because I believe that's going to become my new concealed carry choice. So super stoked about that. But yeah, a lot of fun things have been happening. A lot more are going to happen because, like I said, well, we are 1 month away from our 3-gun championship here in Pierre. And so, yeah, if you guys want to come hang out, Nick and I, feel free to jump on our social media and look up Practice Score and sign up for our 3-gun championship. It's only $40. I mean, it's going to cost you a heck of a lot more to probably travel and come shoot it than shooting it itself. But hey, why not, right? So that's all the fun and exciting things I've been doing.
Yes, and AR Drew says we should strive to be kicked off YouTube. And I have been kicked off before because of that drawing.
You have, and that's insane that they kicked you off because of a drawing. So YouTube can suck one.
Yes, almost as much as England and the UK. Yes. Like we fought a war in 1776 to not care about what you guys think about what we say.
Correct.
So, by all means, you can I will talk smack and share memes and be not nice to you on the internet. And if they really want to send constables and bobbies over here to try and extract American citizens to take them back and do extradition charges, and we're going to send our police over to take Americans home or back to England to charge them with being mean on the internet crimes.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Yeah, going to play a little game of F around and find out.
Correct.
Yes. No, and so since the last time we were on, Garth, I know we shot a local match and did a small training class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's I'm going to call it training. That's what it is.
That's fair.
It's we get to shop, and it's a instructor development course is what it would be easiest to put at, because it's, hey, we're going to shop these couple ideas we have for other things on a group of unsuspecting people who might not be ready for it.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Actually, that reminds me of something that happened to me today. I was in my local hardware store picking up some stuff for the targets I'm building. And this one lady comes up to me who works at the local store there, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And I told her what I was all about and doing everything. And she goes, "Oh, cool. Well, I just took a defensive pistol class not too long ago. And the instructor was really concerned that all I could shoot was the silhouette targets of the body. And I was doing great. I was shooting in the center mass and the head. And the instructor looked at me and said he was very concerned that that's how good I was doing. And I looked at her and went, "Well, that guy sounds like he's an idiot, and you should have left his class right away." And she goes, "Well, maybe you've heard of him. He owns a company in Pierre called Dually Defense." I said, "There's no way in hell that Nick told you that he was concerned about your center of mass shots. She goes, well, he seemed very concerned. I said, ma'am, I've known Nick for a long time, and I also work for his training company, and there's no way in hell that's what came out of his mouth. If anything, it might have been a high five, great doing, good shooting and all that good stuff, but there's no way in God's green earth that he was concerned that you were shooting center mass. She goes, well, I'm like, yeah, shush, 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 shush. I don't want to hear it.
It was a really cool story till it wasn't.
It was a great story until it wasn't. I was like, who is this moron you took a class from? Yeah, maybe you know him. Duly defense. I do know him, and that did not come out of his mouth.
Yep. Oh, no. So we did that, and we've done that. We've done some training stuff. I have a product to talk about a little bit later, and it's the Drill Index cards.
Oh, those are awesome.
Yeah, which were new cards that we've been playing with and all those things. So the reason we didn't have a show last week is Garth was harvesting, or attempting to.
We've been attempting for the last week and a half. I hope that we're done tomorrow.
But so he had that going on, and I had I was off in Wyoming doing no, we couldn't make it to goals. I have been doing Army stuff and could not go, and Garth's harvest ran out late, so I kind of just made it back in time for the show tonight.
I did not make it in time for the show tonight. The original plan was, yes, I was going to be driving to Sioux Falls tonight to get on a plane tomorrow morning to go to goals. And I had to cancel my rooms because, well, this is the harvest that never ends. So,
yep, I was off doing. I had a full week running matches, or one match, but a multiple day match, and doing the rifle side on known distance and shooting from 500 meters into 25 with rifle platforms, the M4 and M16, and that was a very fun time. Always a learning experience, always interesting to see, and that is definitely a thing. So I'm about half burned out, but we're still rolling good because I think I'll get a day off next week.
Well, yeah, ish. Sunday, we'll have Sunday, but that's just, going to shoot and stuff. So,
yep. And because next week teaching a class and then another session, and all sorts of fun stuff. But
all the fun stuff.
Yeah, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. And as we keep going forward here, I know we had a couple products that we both wanted to talk about, and Garth's looking at me going, "I did."
You've caught me off guard. Yes, I maybe I do. I don't know, dude. I'm all over the place tonight. So you start talking, it might jog something in my head.
Yep. Well, first I'm going to talk a little bit about. So I was doing, I was off running a military match, and one of the cool things about this is not a long range match or even a mid range match. This is, we're shooting again from 500 down to 25 meters, or 25-ish meters. And in running that, there's a bunch of, things that you figure and go into that, because it's nobody's using fancy tricked out rifles or fancy tricked out sights.
Yeah.
It's everything used has to be like standard issue or in the TM for the weapon system. And TM, for anyone who doesn't know, is the technical manual. So you're very limited on what optics you can run.
Gotcha.
Actually, up until about 3 years ago, one of the events had to be shot iron sights.
Oof.
So, and that was, that was starting at 400 meters, and they're 400 yards, yeeters, whatever,
Years, yeah.
and shooting with that. But I was running it, not a competitor this year, so I grabbed my kit rifle that I have from the team and went through and we did a confirmation 0, and I was like, yep, dialed in at 100, we're looking good. I know where my dope's supposed to be. And then was talking. We had some newer shooters with us, and when we took off from our state, because working with those guys, and they were going, hey, nope. So if you do this, put your 400-meter hash on the 25, and with the Army's new EPR 855A1, you are dialed in, at 25 and 400, and then you have just a little bit of movement with your chevron on top, the ACOG, or if you have the crosshairs, it's a lot more forgiving target for some of those ranges. And when we were shooting that, one of the guys that was there with us that was kind of new to the shooting, who was helping me run ranges, working as range staff, and we had him shooting as well. When he was shooting, he just had a standard M4, so 14.5 barrel, with the bird cage on it and an ACOG, and had sighted it in just the exact same way. And now, granted, I'm not going to get into sunny versus cloudy because that's getting into real minutia stuff. But he was shooting out of an M16A4, and which is a 20-inch barrel. I know I said a little bit ago he was shooting a 14.5. The guy whose dope he got was a 14.5.
Oh.
And we were shooting, the 20 inches. So he put everything on there and put the, sight exactly where it should have been, and shot about 6 inches high right into the neck of the target. So, like, combat, awesome. Competition, ungood.
Ungood, yeah.
and it was just one of those, because he was talking about it, and we were, talking and visiting about it on the drive back, and then I was like, oh, yeah, well, it didn't even occur to me until later, looking back, that the velocity difference on that 6 inches of barrel caused that much more muzzle rise, or not muzzle rise, but it was added that much velocity to improve the speed. So your drop was that significant at 400.
That's pretty insane. That's pretty neat, actually. So
yeah, it was one of those, like, it was a good experience to go out and see that. And then, like, it was 100% like empirical data in front of us, because then moving forward, it was all right, well, we're going to do this. So here's some semi-fun facts about like an ACOG, for instance. ACOG, everybody goes, oh yeah, ACOGs are sweet. And here we go. Mick says he's putting that upper with the handguard that I got from y'all, by the way. Sweet.
Nice.
Gave it a paint job. Even better. But so ACOGs are a very interesting optic. They are old technology. I mean, it's 40-year-old technology. They're not the greatest scope on the market, which is gonna make somebody mad because they spent $1,200 on one and they're like, it's amazing. And I have one in my safe as well, and I can tell you exactly how often I break it out.
Very little. I've only seen it a few times.
Yeah, I do not shoot it a lot. It's I use it to practice for these competitions, and that's about it. And one of the things about them is on the very bottom of your ocular window. If you would look through it, you see the reticle. If you go all the way and look barely at the bottom, you can barely see it. It will actually tell you what weapon system it's made for.
Oh, really?
So they'll be like, oh no, this is for M4A1. This is for M16. It'll actually say what, so you know what barrel length, because then knowing that, it will tell you which ammunition, like 855 is what it was typically made for, which is, the standard munition for everybody. But it's tiny, tiny print to see. Like, you got to look at a white wall and, all right, yep, there it is. Fire up the old Mark I eyeball, pretty good to see it. And while we were there, it's the difference, the number of different options that the Army has for ACOGs that nobody realized.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just one. Everybody knows typically about, the carrot or chevron.
Yep.
The stick, which is the one I have. There's also a dot and a donut, or a horseshoe.
Oh, really?
And a stick, and a plain crosshair. The plain crosshair does not have the fiber optic tube to light up, so it's a lot finer and they're a little bit easier to wring some accuracy out of, just because it's got a finer sight and lines on it. So that is a, oh no, you can do this and this and this. It was interesting seeing some of the different competitors, because we had competitors from 7 different states there. And there's one guy running a magnifier behind a red dot, and it was the M68, which is my least favorite red dot on the planet, and had a magnifier behind it, which I thought was very interesting, because there's no holds or anything like that. It just makes your dot bigger, and it magnifies what's there. So
yep,
like that is interesting when you're going for accuracy at 400 yards.
I put the dot on the target that covered the whole thing.
Yep. Well, so the guys who won, so first place went to a gentleman from Wyoming. He was shooting an Elcan Spectre. Second place went to one of my good friends from South Dakota. He was shooting an ACOG. And third place went to the first place brother, who's also from Wyoming, shooting an Elcan Spectre. And Elcan Spectres are another unique optic that I am not a huge, I don't have a lot of experience with, but I know they are around, and you do see them. Like people buy them on occasion, but it is not typically my favorite optic. You ever seen one, Garth?
I know you've talked about it briefly with some of your Army buddies and stuff. I had no idea. I kind of zoned you guys out on that part. But no, I've never actually seen one. I've never looked one up.
So Tyler had one of these. And
okay,
what they are is kind of neat, because they are a prism optic, but they are a dual prism optic. So for anyone watching live, you can see that on my mouse here I have a 4X and a 1X. So it has a throw lever, and you get 1 or 4, like no in between. And yeah,
what does the optic look like in it itself?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get pulled up here to see if they have the reticle. And of course, as I click through a bunch of pictures, it's, oh, hey, look at our mount.
Oh, there we go.
There you can see it is a crosshair with a series of circles.
Kind of like the old Nikon BDC scopes.
Yep, similar to that.
Yep.
But so they're a nice optic. It's just they're not real common. One of the things that is kind of neat that people will do running those is so they actually run, it'd be like I would call it a diopter cover at the back. And it has so when you put your lens cover around the back, they have a hole drilled in them. So they'll put like a 3/8 hole in the lens cover at the back. So it works like a peep sight. looking through to make that reticle bigger in your eye.
Oh, okay.
And it's so they're made by the Canadians, and they've been in service again since the 80s. And using that versus an ACOG it's just neat because you can switch off back and forth between that one power and 4 power.
Oh, so they made the optic about the time they became a country. Cool, gotcha.
Well, the Canadians were a country way before the 80s.
I know. I just had to give the Canadians a little crap. I don't even know if we have any Canadians that listen to us.
We do. We have a couple Canadian listeners.
Oh,
at least according to downloads,
okay, cool.
and like a handful of Brits. So good for you guys.
Well,
Again,
not after tonight.
I'm going to continue to make fun of the British government. But Garth, what else have you been doing? Like, I know you've been doing some target stuff. What have you been doing? Because I know you've gone out and you have shot, and you've even shot some rifle stuff.
I have shot some rifle stuff. I definitely did put the Riker system on my PCC. And guys, if you have not checked out Riker yet, please do. I know they gave us a coupon code, and honestly, I was kind of skeptical about their hand, their grip right away. But man, after running it in competition, the amount of stability I have running that, and they said again that you should definitely run it with a sling. I did not because I was using it in a competition setting, but the control I have instead of using a vertical grip or a finger stop is fantastic. So that alone makes that gun so much more controllable, and it's fantastic. So I'm definitely going to be ordering a couple more of those from Riker and setting those up on my other competition firearms, and looking forward to those in a major way. What other rifles have I been shooting, Nick? Gosh, I don't know if I have other than when I was with you.
Well, we did that. I know you ran some PCC stuff, and you're still working some kinks out on that because you've been talking about different ones and what it is you need to get because, oh, well, I'm thinking about this, and you're really...
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, the SIG went down the road. Well, it's not down the road yet. I mean, it's in a gun shop on consignment right now. Love that gun. The MPX was a fantastic firearm, but for myself personally, trying to go fast and load a curved magazine into a magwell, I just couldn't handle it. So I went back to a Glock style PCC lower platform in my Black Rain, and that's what the Riker grip is on currently. And yeah, getting things squared away on that has been super awesome and fun. Yeah, other than that though, man, it's really been all about building targets and seeing if I am creative enough to actually come up with something on my own. I know that you can go out and you can buy a good Texas Star or tree for, gosh, anywhere from $300 to $700, and I've put about $700 worth of material into these projects so far. I know that for a fact. So, but I will get like 5 or 6, cool targets and barriers and things of that nature. Oh yeah, Nick loves Glocks. He is he's a fanatic. Loves them so much.
Yeah, that's the word we'll use for them.
Yeah,
I've said before, if it wasn't for the government, that Austrian High Point would be out of business.
More than likely, yeah. That's the other thing I've been trying to figure out is what firearms I'm going to start carrying in my vehicle as of late. Currently, I have Glocks in my my Gladiator and my F-150, but well, I mean, just the other day, coming back in from building targets at 12:30 at night, a few creatures might have ran across the road, and well, I tried to do the old spotlighting thing by headlight, and it wasn't working out for me. And so that's prompted me to look into new holsters that are light compatible as well as red dot compatible. And I'm not sure if I want to stick with the Glock or if I want to go with the SIG platform in there. So I've been really reworking all my everyday carry in vehicle, everyday carry on my person, what rifles I bring with me and stuff, things of that nature. And so, yeah, it's been one of those life-changing moments, to say the least. Of I think I'm finally getting away from Glock, and that sucks because I love Glocks. They're fantastic firearms, I think, and they have a place. But if I'm being truthful, my safe is more full of SIGs than Glocks anymore. So that's okay.
Garth, I don't know how to tell you this.
Everything
You've
was
been
muted, wasn't it? I was muted the entire time. Well, just like Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that. Was I muted because it wasn't red on my screen? No, I hear
Garth,
great.
you're muted.
No, I'm not. Your thing is because I'm getting comments in here. People are responding to what I just said.
Oh,
so
fair enough. I cannot hear you at all.
Well, you had to hear something because you're nodding your head
as I try and work through issues on my end.
Andrew, I agree. The SIG modularity is impressive, dude. They really cornered the market with the 365, and not to say that the 320 doesn't have its place. I really do enjoy shooting the 320, especially the X Legion. But the 365 for the modularity of frame size, and now with this fuse and the X macros and everything like that, man, it's fantastic. And if Radiant Weapons ever comes out with their 365 compensator, it's a new ball game then. Oh, now Nick's just gone. He's left us to hang out, guys. So, yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about now that Nick's gone? You can listen to me ramble all night. I'm totally okay with doing all that stuff. I can talk about SIGs all dang night. I'm just going to get us kicked off YouTube right now. I hope that's okay. Sorry, Christopher and Mike, because we got to. But there is the fuse. This bad boy is right here. I love it so much. Just the weight and the barrel length is fantastic. They gave you fiber optics for these fuses. I'm not a fan of that at all, but that's going to have a red dot on it. So the Vulcan by Primary Arms, it's a Hollow Sun. It's their little crossover they've done has been very, very impressive.
It's the ACSS reticle.
Yes.
It's the ACSS Vulcan reticle. And apparently my internet just decided that it was not going to allow Garth to talk, so I had to log out and log back in.
No, well, you did it very quickly. It only took me 20 minutes to do that.
I know.
So, yeah, that's one of two. And then, of course, I went with the SIG 365 AXG Legion. And, man, this gun is going to be something fun. Super excited to get a red dot on that this weekend. Might shoot it for competition this weekend if I can find another red dot, or just steal the one on my X macro. Yes. So
Garth is the only guy I know who puts down his X5 Legion and is like, you know what? That X5 Legion is cool, but I'm going to shoot a 365 in competition.
Oh, no, I did the worst thing ever the last shoot we did. I tried to shoot my SIG 365 SAS. That was a mistake. Love that gun for concealed carry. I carry it in my front left pocket, but was a horrible choice to try to shoot a competition with. Took dead last in a lot of events because I shot it for 2 different classes, which was a mistake. So I will not make that mistake again, but I had to try, I just picked the worst week ever to do it because Nick and another guy ran stages and they chose a lot of 4-inch plates, and that was the downfall of Garth. So
yes indeed. So I was talking about, and I ran off to grab these whilst you were talking, but when I was talking earlier about the cards that we've been using, these are the drill index cards. So this is not a sponsor. They did not send these. I paid for this with my own money. And I'm going to go through here because they have pistol and rifle drills to run on these. And they are a very good, like, Garth, what would you call these?
They're a great training aid. When you go to the range, guys, and you just set up a paper and you're like, I don't know what I should do. And so what you do, you mark off 7 or 10 yards and you just fire at center mass at whatever target you have. And these give you the ideas and breakdowns of different events and scenarios you can run. And it's just a great training aid tool. And how much do they cost, Nick? They're like $25?
Yeah.
$20, somewhere in there?
Somewhere in there. So this is the EFY drill, which I'm sure you can tell what it stands for. And this is military carry and ape defense. Targets at 10 yards apart at 10 yards to shoot this. Carbine at low or high ready, or a holstered pistol, one of the two. 5 rounds in weapon and a full second magazine. At the start signal, centered on one target, fire 4 rounds to the body A zone and 1 round to the eye box. Perform a slide lock reload while moving to the second target. Fire 4 rounds to the body and 1 to the eye box. Drilled it, try 2 magazines, load with a 5, and work your way back to the first position. And that is all for time, and a fun way to do that.
No, it's super fun. I don't know. We've used them now, 4 or 5 times at different events we've been a part of now. So
yeah, they're quickly becoming a favorite in my range bag, just because it's, hey, here's a handy drill. Like, everyone always does the what should we run?
Mm-hmm.
Well, pick a card, because it lets me hit the easy button.
Where did you get these again, Nick? And how much were they?
I saw them on the Instagrams. Is how I came across them, and so I went to look at them, and they were $30, and they are drillindex.net.
And roughly how many cards come in a pack, they said?
Oh, let me look here, because I could count these out, but 64 drills on 54 cards.
I mean, if we're being honest, you might get through, 3 or 4 cards a day when you're out there?
Depends. You want to run it a couple times, something like that. So, I mean,
exactly.
There's a good, a lot of people, this would be like a year's worth of training.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm trying to get at, is these are going to last you a while. And so if you ran through everything, say you go out to the range for an hour, you run 3 cards, and you're doing that once or twice a week, probably once a week for most people, then yeah, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to train yourself and go through that deck several times. So nothing's going to get stale or boring, is basically what I'm saying.
Yep. And no, those have been great, and a valued training aid. As we keep going here, because I know that I wanted to talk about those, and I interrupted Garth's SIG talk.
No, man, that's fine. You do you. I asked them what they wanted to talk about, but no one got back to me right away. So I was like, well, I'll just talk about SIG. It's fine.
No, Garth's going to talk about SIG guns.
How dare we do that on the AR-15 podcast?
Yeah, and it's funny because Garth used to be like the biggest Glockophile I knew.
I was a Glock snob. That's all I wanted to shoot. I didn't care about SIG. I thought SIGs were dumb. And now, oops.
So, Jeff, you asked if either of us have ever, or anyone in chat, handled or shot the PSA Crink. Yes, I have. I have put hands on it at SHOT Show. And it sucks because it's an AK. So moving on.
That's fair enough, because yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of bias.
Yeah.
It is the weapon of our enemies. Makes a very distinctive sound when fired at you. No, but I had somewhere I was going to go with that. And then I started talking about like AKs and having to have a statement about them. Oh, there was no offense taken. I also meant to give all of the offense. That's a joke. Oh, I'm serious.
I'm just serious. Wait, what?
No, let's see. And other things I've done. I don't remember if I have talked about adding a riser to my EOTech on here yet.
I don't believe you've told me a few times, but I don't believe you talked to these guys about it.
So I know that we're covering a lot of stuff just because we have a little bit of time here and we're talking about some things we've done. So it's a bit of a mess. So stay with us in our frame of consciousness.
Yeah.
As
welcome to our lives.
Yeah. What's going on? Hey, squirrel. Anyways, did I tell you about putting a riser on my EOTech? And because I did. And I put a Bravo company machine, I want to say is BCM, makes a riser that put up for adding just a little bit more height. And I did it primarily to see how it worked with night vision because, I have a night vision capable EOTech and I've been running it, and it was a lot of fun and good to run at my last night vision course I went to. And it was a pain to get down to where I could actually look through the optic.
Mm-hmm.
So I added just, kind of the standard riser and went, all right, hey, we're gonna add this. And if I had it to do over again, I might have ordered one that was just a little bit longer of a riser than what I did. So I think I got like a 6-inch or something like that, and they had a one that was just a little bit longer. So I should have ordered the one that was the full length, and full length of the rail on top of the receiver, and I did not. So it has overhang on both ends for like all of the mounts as they hold on, but the important parts have everything held together. And it has actually been a super enjoyable experience, even shooting it without nods, because I'm getting a chin weld, but that's the only EOTech I have. So learning where to hold with that particular optic makes it really good.
Yeah.
And Jeff, no, the last time I went hog hunting, I did take a night vision optic, but it was not my helmet mounted or any of that stuff. Because I've only been hog hunting once, and I shot my hog at like 10:30 in the morning.
Takes all the fun out of the rest of the day.
Well, no, it was a whole thing.
I remember that weekend well. You got attacked by a scooter.
Yes, I did.
So, yeah. So, Nicholas, we've covered quite a bit of stuff. Do you want to cover the one thing we've been kind of upset about the last couple of days?
Yes, we are going to talk about that. So there's a great video that VSO Gun Channel put out that I sent to Garth, and he broke it down exceedingly well about the NSSF, or the National Shooting Sports Foundation. And so they did a study about magazines, specifically magazine capacity. And they were talking about how like 30-round magazines or standard capacity magazines are, in common use. There's millions of them everywhere, and et cetera, et cetera. So a court case from the National Association for Gun Rights was being brought up and pulled through. And they had said, hey, we're going to have a disposition about this. We're going to use your study. You guys say you're in support of shooting sports in the industry. this would make things a lot better for the good people of Colorado. Would you like to come on? And they have email and text messages and all this stuff with lawyers and yeah, we're coming, like up until the day of. And then NSSF changed their mind and refused to let their expert be involved in the deposition.
Mm-hmm.
So they left them hanging in the wind, and they had no time to change anything for the court case that they were having.
Basically blew up their entire court case.
Yeah, they just destroyed it. So now they have to submit a new court case and do other stuff to get different experts or have all this go through. And NSSF, for anyone who didn't know, is also the people who put on SHOT Show. So they are not willing, apparently, to help out gun owners.
That is correct. I was curious enough after I watched the video that Nick sent me. And so I called the NSSF and let them know that I was an independent journalist looking to cover it on a story. Didn't give out the information of the podcast because, well, we know a friend who allegedly said some things online and got himself banned from SHOT Show forever. And so before I took that leap and bound, I decided maybe I would just, introduce myself as a journalist. And I said, hey, we're covering this story about you guys not helping these state of Colorado out with this gun ban or magazine ban, and how you pulled your witness expert or expert witness out of their court case. Do you care to comment? And their exact words were, at this time, we will not be commenting on anything related to that subject. And about 30 seconds of pause went by for both of us. And I went, do you realize that this is going to affect your guys' outcome at SHOT Show with the amount of people that aren't going to be coming now? And the guy goes, yeah, we're just not going to comment about that right now. And he hung up on me. And I went, oh. And so Nick and I had a conversation and just decided maybe SHOT Show wasn't for us this year, if that's the kind of people that are going to represent SHOT Show. I don't understand why, as a gun organization, they would not want to be in support of gun owner rights. And that's why, gosh, I really wish that Nick and I were able to go to Goals this weekend, because those guys at Goals represent gun owner rights. And they will break it down. They will read every piece of law out there for gun owners, and they will make a determination that is in favor of gun rights for Americans. And so if you guys aren't a member of Goals, I encourage, or Gun Owners of America, I encourage you to become one, because those are the people that you want supporting and to stand behind.
Yep. So Jeff Hines here in comments from YouTube was asking, is this, are they based in Colorado? And the National Shooting Sports Foundation is not. They're a nationwide organization, and their kind of big thing is they are the Firearms Industry Trade Association, and they lead the industry in keeping guns out of the wrong hands, enjoyment of recreational shooting and hunting, and helping people better understand the industry's lawful products, is what they say. So they are, August is Shooting Sports Month, and at one time they did a lot with it. They're the ones who do Project Child Safe. So if you ever wanted to know why every new gun sold has a gun lock in it, that is with the NSSF. They and manufacturers produce that together.
Mm-hmm. And as Nick frantically Googles where their main office is located,
it is their office numbers. When you look up for like phone and fax, are southwestern Connecticut.
Hmm.
So that is not shocking to be in that area. So
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, gosh, I don't know how good it would be for anyone just to call their office repeatedly and ask them why they ruled against that in that specific way or decided to pull their expert witness. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if anyone from listening from the show did that at all, just to, pester them a little bit because, well, I think they need pestered a little bit.
of your own volition.
Yes,
Yes, that's from Garth.
correct.
Not the show, because if they change it, we don't want to have the full lifetime ban, but also fuck them. So let's have another
100%.
bourbon. Let's have another bourbon and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Jeff, I agree. It's an election year and things are just going to get crazy and wonky. And so I'm sure that has a bunch to do with it. So,
Yes, most likely that has a lot to do with it. But that is something I feel is worth talking about. And, if they're not willing to even defend their own studies or allow it to be used to defend rights, are they really on our side?
correct. And so, I'm not going to make promises or spoil anything, but just know that there may be something in the works.
Yes, SHOT Show coverage may be limited this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may come up with something else and see what's coming up with that. More on that later.
Correct.
Because, yeah.
We don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse.
No. Which is a first for us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. So here's maybe go to NRA annual meeting instead of SHOT. That's what I'm doing. NRA might be able to be saved with enough work. I think it would be easier to save the NSSF than the NRA. NRA sold us out. Legitimately, the last thing the NRA did that was actually pro-gun was keep pistols out, or handguns in general, out of the NFA. So the National Firearms Act of 1934, that was the last actual pro-gun thing, because they managed to keep handguns, so pistols and revolvers, out of the NFA because they were originally supposed to be included. And that was why the short-barreled rifle stuff was also added, because it was supposed to be, oh, well, what if somebody just cut down a rifle? So they made, 16 inches the arbitrary barrel length, just solely for the, oh, well, this is going to be a thing since we're outlawing handguns. After that, every single piece of pro-gun legislation or anti-gun legislation, the NRA is backed. Like, the NRA backed the Brady assault gun ban.
Yeah. I kind of equate what the NSF or NSSF, how it is, 18S is in there somewhere in there. Yeah, whatever. Is doing is kind of like the Bud Light with the trans guy shim on it, and this is going to be their defining moment where they get their world rocked in the next few months. And I think the numbers decline at SHOT Show because of this. And then we see where they stand. Will they come back from it, or will they dig in?
So, but this is one of those things where, you talk about it. The number of large companies that have quit coming to SHOT Show is actually really, really telling. So the first major company to quit coming was SIG.
That is correct.
And SIG quit coming a couple of years ago, and they're just like, nope, we're done. And then apparently there was a conversation going back and forth, and if you're I was in some of the SHOT Show Facebook groups, and there's a guy, oh yeah, SIG tried to come crawling back, but we wouldn't let them. And Sig laughed and went, haha, no. But the Brownells quit coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing more and more companies pull back from SHOT Show just as a like, hey, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to play this game. I know that when they added, like they kind of changed the rules on like booth sizes and who got booths and where they went.
Yep.
Because some of these companies, like, it's $5,000 for carpet in your booth for a small one. And then like they'll build a booth and they're spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars on booths. And Garth's banging stuff around on his desk.
I'm sorry. I my ADD kicked over and I was playing with my my M4.
But like, even last year Vortex didn't come.
Yeah.
So like the number of companies that are not doing things at SHOT is telling already. And now if they're doing this, I mean, it's a big deal.
It very much is. So it'll be interesting to watch what happens in the next few months and who all pulls out from SHOT now because of it. And I think they're going to lose even more major companies because of this. And sometimes you have to learn from your mistakes.
Well, or if they change their stance, they may have like an amazingly stellar reason that they just haven't released yet.
They could.
I mean, I kind of doubt it, but yeah, what do I know? That's just me going, come on, somebody out there do the right thing so I don't have to, vote from the rooftops. But I mean,
yeah.
Shout from the rooftops.
Shout, whatever. We all know you meant.
Yeah, we're gonna shout it from the rooftops. But no, this is it's things to keep aware of, guys, because there are an astonishing number of companies that have done misdeeds to the average gun owner. And like I know that I've heard about, Springfield Armory being one, and I'm told that they actually kind of cleaned house and cut all the people that were involved in one.
Mm-hmm.
Rock River Arms is another one that was involved in some shady legislation that carved themselves out a very special little niche. But I'm not sure they've changed. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge Rock River guy. That and Daniel Defense apparently has a clearinghouse for feds.
Oh shoot. So,
but Garth, do you have anything else to add tonight before we?
No, nothing crazy to add, guys. Sorry for being scatterbrained on tonight's episode. We were all over the place, technical difficulties, trying to get here on time, things of that nature. But glad to hang out with all you. Glad to talk to Nick about some interesting stuff that we've had going on and things that are coming down the pipe. And things with SHOT Show that are just not going to happen this year for us. So it's all right. The only other thing I can say is tune in next week because it's going to be a cool episode.
Oh, all right. Real quick, Jeff has a question, Garth, that I want you to cover, and then I will.
All right.
And if you had $1,000 to spend, tax included, what AR would you buy?
If I was going to spend $1,000 on an AR, tax included, I would go out and pick out a Sig Sauer M400.
Are those $1,000 right now?
They're $850, I believe.
Oh, now you talk well.
Okay. I'm pretty certain that they're $850 because there is like
they are special price on PSA at $1,199.99.
Really? They went up? It was
Yeah.
$800 when I bought mine.
Yeah. Let's see. You can get them right around 1,000 for the Tread Predator. Like, yeah, that's what you're looking at, is a little over 1,000.
Okay, well, shoot. I'd still kind of stick with that. Is that breaking the rules if I say that gun?
Yes, it is, because it falls out of the purview of the
All
conversation.
right. Then you go, because I've got to rethink.
Well, as you're doing that, like you kind of messed up my my lead in to what I was going to do,
Uh-huh.
because we were talking about being all over and things kind of breaking down tonight. But you know what never breaks down? VZ grips. The unique features of VZ grips is they're machined from a solid block of G10, and that G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme, as well as color options and shorty versions available. 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard slim thumb notches, safety cuts, bottom profiles, and more. I wish I could talk tonight. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available. You can get grips for my beloved Berettas as well. And this coupon code is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips. And that code is AR-15 podcast. Yes,
Nope.
it is.
No, I'm going with the SIG M400 Tread, man. I'm finding on Gunbroker for 1,000 even.
Yeah, that's not with tax or shipping, or like, that was the question.
All right. Here it is, $850. There it is. SIG M400 Tread, 5.56, 16-inch barrel, $850 on Gunbroker. It works, yes. That's what I would go with. That's what I'm picking. Ambidextrous, everything on the controls. Super fine shooting gun. Has just the pick rail on top where the upper doesn't go down the entirety of the handguard. That's okay, because in my situation, I'm definitely putting it on some type of prism. It's probably going to be either a Swamp Fox blade or a Gideon Optics in that regard. Maybe do like a LPVO in a 1-6, something in that range, because that's actually what I have in my F-150. It's suppressed, super awesome. It's got great accuracy on it. I think they're a well-built AR. Again, I'm just on the SIG bandwagon right now, but yeah, it's a fantastic firearm. It's a great rifle. So that's what I would do. Gunbroker has them 850. I win.
I win, he says. You know, as I go through and I keep looking at this stuff, there's a handful that are around that would be really good places to start. If you're looking for that, you know, again, the standard AR, like, that's where I get into such a hard time, because I'm like, man, there's good ones to have. Like Ruger is a super solid option, just because, like, the Ruger MPR is a great rifle. But I'm probably gonna go with a like, if you want the best one you could get, Sons of Liberty Gunworks, either a Legacy or a Patrol. You can get the Legacy right now. This is like a mil spec M4, like, basic as you can get. And right now on Brownells, they are, you know, $750.
Jeff would like you to say that brand again.
Sons of Liberty Gunworks. Yeah, $750. And that is a front sight post. Sons of Liberty, this is the gotta find what it is they called it again. Sons of the Legacy 5.56. And the Patrol as well, you can find fairly reasonable, right around that $1,000 mark, including taxes. And like, Sons of Liberty makes a damn fine rifle. If you don't want to do that, again, the AR-556 line from Ruger would be another thing that I would not be afraid to trust my life to.
Like that guy right there?
Yeah. Like one of those. I have, I think I only have I have one factory built AR, and it is not one I would trust my life to
Fair.
because it is an oddity that I keep around purely because it's an oddity, and I'm like, this is neat. I like it.
I
It
mean,
shoots.
oh, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No, it shoots, and it's neat, and it's a fun gun for me, but it is not what I would want.
Honestly, if you're looking to go cheap, you could always just head over to Palmetto State Armory and pick up an upper and a lower, completed, and just put them together for about $650. If we're not going top of the line, and I don't have a problem with Palmetto State by any means. I have one in my safe right now. It's a fantastic firearm. It just, if I'm going to go with quality along with price, then I'd probably stick around that Ruger Sig. I've owned a couple Smith & Wessons. They're nice. Basically, they're all the same. They're just stamped different at this point. But
Yep, I was just looking to see if you could get a PSA Saber for $1,000 and $999. Oh, $929 for a Saber, or $950. So you could also get a Saber PSA if you wanted to.
Well, there you go.
And the Sabers, if you get the milled variant,
Mm-hmm.
well, at least in the AR-10, we're ambi, so
Let's see here if I can find them real quick.
all right. As
No, I'm not finding the price on that. It's okay.
Yep. And guys, I just I know that Sons of Liberty Gunworks, the reason why I kind of was pimping for that brand, they do really, really good work. And when they built theirs out, I know that they definitely are a how do I phrase this? When they started out, they went into the minutia on, like, kind of like gas rings and you got to use these gas rings. You got to use this. They care a lot about what goes into their rifles.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I think, very important as well. That, and I'm a sucker for a front sight post gun.
You are. You've been getting back into the front sight post stuff. You've been kind of all about it. So,
well, I've again running a front sight post, even with a magnified optic.
mm-hmm.
You don't notice it, or at least I don't. Like, I look at the optic, I see it because it's like, yep, it might be there, but it's not enough to be distracting.
Certain optics will kind of push through it. Others will not.
Well, that's what I said with the magnified.
Yeah, with magnified, yeah. It's a prism, absolutely not. But yeah, certain magnifications will.
A 1x prism. Because
Yeah.
like an ACOG is a 4x prism, and you look right through it. You don't notice
Yeah, I
it.
suppose. So,
When you get it, that's why the magnification's a big thing. But like running, like I have one right now that's got I'm running bottom third co-witness.
mm-hmm.
So, yep, flip a magnifier over. Otherwise, you have it there kind of as an anchor point, like suppressor height sights and a red dot on a handgun.
Yeah.
And you can still run fast. And if something goes wrong, you can always go back and run those irons.
Yep.
And I've just been getting back into it, and I don't know why.
It's that FUD coming out in you.
It's not the FUD. Here we go. Clucker says, just like your nose, your eyes see it, but your brain makes it disappear. That's right. And that front sight post, it's really hard to beat the originals. Garth's just going, I don't like them. I don't want it.
I've got 2 sets right here.
Those are not front sight posts.
No, these are just pop-up.
Yeah.
These are Ruger pop-up ones. So, and then the ones that came off my my Rock Island shotgun.
Yep. No, and okay, this second. I just had to read this because could that be that do not yet have the name recognition, so not paying for a label with Sons? No, Sons of Liberty is very much so a high tier brand. When you get into some of their other, like the ones I'm talking about are, handguard, like the split handguard, where if you want to put a quad rail on it, you're putting, like, it's non-free floated. It is a more mil-spec rifle, but a good rifle. And because I mean, I still like my 2-piece handguards.
Yes.
And yeah, that is definitely a thing. But well, Garth, I kind of don't have anything else to add on that. Do you?
I do. They actually should go check out Patriot Patch. PatriotPatch.co for all your tin sign, for all your pop culture patches, for all your movie references and all the good stuff. Go check Jake out at Patriot Patch. I have his You Found Me Easter sticker here with the Claymore and the grenades painted like Easter eggs. They do a fantastic job. Their PVC patches are fantastic. Join their Patch of the Month club. You can have an awesome patch collection from just doing that, getting 1 patch a month. I've got 2 of my canvases full. They need to go on a wall somewhere. That wall is spoken for my gun wall that's going to be going up here in the next couple months. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put all my patches at, but go check out Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co.
Yes, that is a fact. And guys, yes, make sure you look for quality. And if you're looking for something that if you wanted to get a super high quality, one of the better ARs I've ever shot, just because it was put together that well. We don't have a deal or a sponsorship with them, and we had them on the show, but check out Mitchell Defense. Mitchell Defense is awesome. Like, they got down to so earlier there was a comment about they nitrided the detents. They did special coating on their gas rings to make sure that everything is set up and done right. So, like, if they're doing PVD coatings on gas rings, that should tell you what the quality is, because they actually care.
Yeah. So.
Yep. But Garth, you got anything else to add tonight?
No. Again, apologies for being late. Glad you guys stuck it out, hung out, asked some great questions tonight. We had some good discussion, and come back next Thursday. We'll both be here and ready to rock.
Yeah. And yes, we'll definitely be back. Sorry, I had to look at Mick's comment here. After having a gas block come loose that was not dimpled, I realized the beauty of a front sight post that is pinned. Yes. No, guys, yes, come back next week. We'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, to keep up with everything. And remember, as we go forward with this, no one is coming to save you. You are your own first responder. Go out, get training, get medical training, practice with your tools, and we'll make sure that you are ready to not be a victim. But you folks out there, You stay safe and stay armed. Support the people who support the show. Primary Arms, VZ Grips, 4Patriots.com, and Patriot Patch Company. Be sure to check us out on social media. AR-15 Podcast 2.0 on Instagram. AR-15 Podcast 2.0 on YouTube. AR-15 Podcast 2 on Twitter. AR-15 Podcast on Facebook and wherever podcasts are found. If you just want to drop us a line, let us know how we're doing, or give us a show idea, make sure to send that email to AR-15podcast 2.0 @gmail.com.